Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Utah Cyber Open Day webinar. Thank you for joining us and hope that you are keeping yourself safe with your families. Okay. So our topic for today is, as you can see on the screen, I hope you can see my screen. What do you want? Path to business and arts related programs. Okay. So the duration of this webinar is estimated in 1 hour, including Q&A session. And for your information, you can post a question at the Q&A box below, as you can see, so we can pick up and answer during our Q&A session at the end later lah. All right. So before we start, and first and foremost, let me introduce myself and our speakers for today. My name is Risman. I am from Utah Division of Program Promotion based in Sungai Long campus. Okay. So with us today, we have two speakers who will be guiding you, helping you to go to the right direction, hopefully, yeah. Okay, so our first speaker for today is Miss Ngo Siawun. Yeah, you can see Miss Ngo. Miss Ngo is an assistant lecturer in Utah from Center for Foundation Studies, Sungai Long campus. So Miss Ngo basically graduated from University of Malaya for Bachelor of Accounting. So that's a little bit on Miss Ngo. And we have our second speaker, Miss Ang Chin Ing. So both Miss Ang and Miss Ngo are from the Center for Foundation Studies Sungai Long campus in the Department of Management and Accountancy. All right, so a little bit on Miss Ang education background. She's an MBA graduate from University Putra Malaysia and also graduated from the same university for Bachelor of Business Administration, Human Resource Management. So for your information, other than Miss Ngo and Miss Ang, we also have Miss Patricia. So Miss Patricia is going to help us in answering to your question later on lah. All right, so I don't want to waste any more time right now. So without further ado, I would like to call for Miss Ngo as our first speaker to take over. So please welcome Miss Ngo. I'll stop my sharing first, Miss Ngo.
Okay, thank you, Richmond. Okay,
welcome.
Welcome to all the participants as well. So it will be a pleasure for me. Thank you, given this chance to actually share with you all like some of my experience and also some sharing. So before I start, I need to share my screen so that you are able to see what we are going to talk about today. All right, so I hope you can see. All right. So this is, once again, I'm going to introduce myself, even though Risman, our moderator, already thought about myself. So I'm Ngo Siawun. So I've been assistant lecturers in foundations in arts. I've been in Utah Foundations in Arts lecturer for more than 10 years. So of course, today what I'm going to share with you is what do you want? And if you would like to ask anything regarding to foundation studies in Utah, so later in the Q&A sections, maybe it's nothing to do with what we are talking about today. You all are welcome to actually ask us any questions regarding to that as well. All right. So if you look at this particular question, our title, so when we see, what do you want? Maybe you will scratch your head as well. I also scratch that. So what are we going to talk about today? So of course, me and Miss Ang is also thinking about, what are we going to share with you? All right. So of course, we understand most of you are actually like either you are SPM level or you are going to choose what you want for your degree course or whether you want to further studies or you don't want. Right. So we are thinking like maybe what we can actually share with you is some things like what you can do or what you should consider. So before I start to going to what I'm really going to share today, so I will actually found this one is actually for me is actually useful, not only at this moment of time, it could be actually like useful like for you to make decisions that we consider that is what ikigai. All right. So when I actually looking for some information on what should we do, okay, or what the future jobs look like, then this one is actually turned out as well. Okay, so they are actually, I won't go through a very details for this one with you all, but I think you may also ask yourself when you need to make any decisions, all right? So this is a Japanese way in order to like look for happiness or the secret of Japanese to become long life. Firstly, you may talk about like a few questions you can ask. What you love? So what do you love to do? You love to sing, you love to dance, you love to talk to friends, all right? You love to eat, okay, you love to travel, what you are good at. All right. So what you are good at, maybe you are good at communications, you are good at negotiations, you are good at listen to others. All right. And then so of course we'll also talk about like what's the world's need. Okay. So what is the world needs in this case? Maybe you will see here like what's the world needs? The world needs to have a more equal global warming, so you can do something about that. And the last one, of course, what you can be paid for. So of course, what is the concept of ikigai? That I will like see this one is like if you are able to work for what you loved and then you're good at, as well as you are how do we say it, what's the world's needs and also what you can pay for, then you can actually find what is actually your ikigai in this case. So this is just a concept for those who thinks that you want to know, you want to look for what is actually your ikigai in this case. So practically what you can do is you can just Google out, then there are a lot of some of the tests and actually can help you to look for what is your ikigai before you actually want to make any decision. Okay, so without any further ado, I will also move on to what is actually what I would like to share with you is something extends from here as well, is what you can be paid for. All right, so of course, what you can be paid for is we're talking about like, what am I going to do? What is my future jobs? So when you want to choose your degree course, okay, then may have like a lot of people tell you, okay, you need to look for something that maybe is, sorry, oops, should be. All right, look for something that maybe how to say, that is actually like can pay you huge amount of money. So I want to earn a lot of monies in the futures and all this thing. But of course, then with things is changing here and there. So you will also heard about like recently because of this pandemic, there's a lot of people being laid off, unemployment is very high and so forth. But of course, there is actually at the transitions where there are new jobs have been created as well. All right. So this is released by whatever I'm going to share with you here is actually released by the Star Online. So they get a source from LinkedIn. So you see here, they get a source from LinkedIn. So what you can actually see is like they talk about what are the trending jobs recently. All right. So what are the most popular jobs titles among LinkedIn members hired in all industry in Malaysia recently? Okay. And this was actually shared last month. Okay. So you will see in this case, of course, not too surprised, software engineer, because now everything people talk about like internet. So a lot of company, they are trying to digitalize their systems and all this thing. So you see here, not too surprised, software engineer. Okay. Then marketing executive. A lot of times this marketing executive is also need to know a lot of all this e-marketing as well, for example. Of course, to my surprise, myself surprised as well, teacher and lecturer is also on the list. So a little bit to my surprise, all right, anyway. So, but of course, I think this is something to do with like the source as well, because LinkedIn, actually, there are a lot of educators, they will actually join LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, therefore, there are actually a lot of uni and also like educations, they will use LinkedIn in order to look for their staffs, okay, look for new peoples or whatever. So you can also see here if you are actually from like future, you plan to move on in arts background or business background, then you will see that it's like marketing executive is always on the list, okay, marketing. So this business development executive, okay, of course, this include account executive, business development manager. Looks like mostly are actually business related. So, but graphic designer, see here, graphic designers is also in the rise as well. There are also jobs in the demand. Okay, so this is of course recently what happens. So you may also have the questions like, for example, what if after 4 years or 5 years, because now maybe you are only SPM or you are going to for your degree. So or after 4 years or 5 years, then only you will graduate. So what if after that time? Are all these jobs still viable? So when I'm choosing, do I refer to this? So of course, we also have these rising jobs. Okay, so there is a jobs on the rise in this case. So this one is actually happens in a Malaysia case. So you can just, I will just share with you a little bit on what jobs they are actually on the rise in Malaysia. So not too much surprise as well again. So you will see this software and technology. All right, so this is also from the same source, LinkedIn. So software and engineer and technology. All right, digital marketing, e-commerce. All right, and one thing you will see that is actually increasing importantly is actually cyber security. All right, cyber security roles, because of now a lot of things is actually online, so cyber security become more and more important as well. Okay, so most of this you will see they are related to technologies, okay, related to internet, related to IT, okay. So, but of course, we have some traditional, you can see that, but not all this, most of the time students, you will think that, oh, they are mostly is for those who are from science, okay. So what, but not likely, all right. So you will see this digital content, okay. So what is this digital content? They are not likely on the technical part, but they are actually on the content part. Okay, for example, it's like, oh, and I was also surprised to see this YouTuber is actually on this list as well. Podcaster, YouTuber, right? Copywriter, editors, as well as a video editor. So they talk about what are the digital that is actually needed. So all this is also on the rise. There are the jobs on the rise. All right, business development and sales, finance and insurance. Okay, so even like you can see like real estate, supply chain, not too surprised because of course with all this online shopping and all this, supply chain is very important as well. Okay, customer service, because of course mostly is on services, legal, beauty, translator, mental health. I guess this will become more and more important in the future. Okay, because with this pandemic, a lot of people is actually work from home and all this thing. So in order to maintain the mental health, it is like becoming more and more important for this clinical psychologists as well as psychologists. All right. So this is of course where we can actually get it from the LinkedIn, based on the LinkedIn. All right. Then recently, I mean, it's on last year also. Okay, the World Economics Forums. Okay, World Economic Forums. They also already released their third issue of the Jobs on the Future. So this Jobs on the Futures is actually thought about like there are actually this double shocks. What are the double shocks? Of course, first one is actually this IR 4.0. Industrial revolution, how does it future the jobs of the future? And then they also thought about like with this pandemic, all right, the COVID-19 pandemics, how would it actually influence the jobs in the future? So not too surprised, you will see here, I also share with you from the World Economic Forum. So they're actually they collect the data from different companies. They also thought about the 10 jobs on the rise. I'll share with you only the 7 here. So I guess it is not too surprised as well. You will notice most of this job is actually IT related, as well as like cyber Internet of Things, for example, IRA 4.0. Okay, this is also the jobs on the rise of Malaysia. Huh? So you thought about this data analysis will become very important. All right, digital transformation specialist, digital marketing and also strategy specialist, big data, AI, and machine learning. So of course, you will see mostly again, it's like most like on IT based or not. But again, if you are not likely, so we talk about like a lot of like the art students. I mean, I'm actually not IT based. So we also see here like the digital marketing also become more and more important as well. All right. So content wise, so maybe it's also become more and more important. Okay, data analysis, those who are actually good in mathematics, that can also look for this data analysis. In fact, Utah also have a lot of the courses on this data analysis course that is open to art students as well. If you are good in maths, then you can move on to this, right? So not too surprised again, all these jobs related to technology as well as like IT, okay, digital, they are all on the rise, right? So of course, this one is actually Miss Patricia asked me to share. So okay, so I say no worries, I will share also. So this is from another source that is actually from JobStreet, right? So JobStreet sharing this is release this one. Get the information from JobStreet is on 2019. Okay, 2019 on fresh grads. Okay, so this number one. building and constructions. Usually for the fresh grads, they are able to get the highest pay. In this case is around 2008, right? Number 2 on the list is actually computer and IT. There is around 100 different, right? Less than 100 different. And e-commerce is on the 3rd on the list. Is actually on not very much difference from this computer and IT. Okay, so but you can look at like their progressions as well here, which means when you become the junior executive, senior executive, how does it work, right? So of course, if you want to know the whole list, all right, so later you can actually ask from us. So if you want, I can share you the website as well. But there is one thing I would like to highlight here, even though building and constructions, this one, they are actually number 1 in the list, but they are still according to the same source as well. There is from JobStreet, the demand practically is not very high, all right, which means the demands recently is actually not high. And this is recent, so what happens in the future we also don't know. But for computer and IT, all right, e-commerce, of course, they are actually at the rising. And then actually number 4 in the list is actually like marketing as well, right? You see that this e-marketing especially. So you see that they are actually becoming more and more important, all right? And then the pay is around 2,000 to 3,000. Actually, even though the others is like when you are doing for others jobs, but the pay is around 2,000 to 3,000 for the fresh grad pay. Okay, so this is practically for some of the sharing with you all. Okay, but that is what happens nowadays. Yeah? So future, again, so we'll talk about what would actually happen in future. So of course, I think yours generations nowadays, so you may feel like a bit unsecure, right? So according to the World Bank as well, so for those who are not so much, for those who are actually primary school students, all right, the primary school students who are actually studying primary school now, 2/3 of the job they are going to do in the future is actually not accessed in the market yet. So the job markets nowadays cannot reveal what will actually happen, all right? And then maybe in 5 year times, 1/3 of the job is also not accessed yet. In 5 year times, 1/3 of the jobs from the job markets is actually not accessed in the existing job market. So you may actually like, so what should I do? All right, but of course, our sharing here is actually according to like, again, this one is according to the same reports from the World Economics Forum as well. There is thought about the jobs in the future. So I will share with you a little bit, okay, what are the redundant job role in future, in 10 years time or 5 years times in that case. So there will be some may not be related to you. If you are after your graduations, you may not likely do all this thing like some of the clerks or even like the workers, but I will just highlight a few. For example, the administrative and executive secretaries will become redundant job roles in the future. All right, so humans resources specialists, and actually I'm not sure whether it is to my surprise or not to my surprise, accountants and auditors is also in the list. So for this redundant job roles, but of course I understand that from what I understand, okay, it may not be disappear, okay, but maybe the number needed will become lesser. All right, so the demands for accountants and auditors will become lesser and lesser with futures where we talk about the machines will replace a human being. Okay, so this is just to share with you, again, from the same report. All right, so let us like this insecurities, business service and administrations manager. All right, so since we talked about like 1/3 of the jobs may not appear yet, all right, or we even thought about like for maybe 20 years from now, okay, 2/3 of the jobs is actually not likely appear in the market. So what should we do? What should I do now? So therefore, nowadays the educations, instead of like what degree course you are choosing, okay? So and then of course you have heard a lot of people also say, what degree course you are doing is actually not likely very important. You can just choose anything. Then when you are working on the future, you may not likely do the same thing as your degree course. So these are the top 10 skill, okay, top 10 skills listed by the World Economic Forums as well. See here, okay. Talk about in 2025, what are the skills needed? All right, what are the skills needed in this case? Okay, so you will see here, the skills needed, the top 10 skills is including analytical thinking and innovation. All right, you must have this analytical thinking. And this one myself thinks that there is actually the most important among all this, where is active learning and also your learning strategies. All right. So last times you used to use the terms like lifelong learning, okay, which means you are continuous to learn, okay, because the world is continuous to change. So for me, I think this active learning as well as this lifelong learning strategies is very important, because whatever you are learning, it may be very fast, it's already outdated, and then there are new things that's coming up. But as long as you have this one, the skills, you are the active learner, you want to learn, all right, and then you have some strategies, you know how to learn. So this is very important, okay, so then you won't be afraid. You will uh, you will actually like eventually you say that, so I have no jobs or anything, right? Complex problem solving, critical thinking, creativities. So all this we have learned a lot. Technological use, all right? Technology design and programming. Oh, so this one, I guess. So you need to know a little bit. That's why now, no matter what course you are going to, you will see that they will talk about a little bit of the programming, like using Python, resilience, okay, reasoning, right? So these are some of these skills, okay? So frankly speaking, now we are more on skills instead of like what you would like to actually like work on it, all right? So this is, so far we talked about a little bit of the future job market. Okay, and the last thing I would like to share with you, okay, the last thing I would like to share with you is this gig economy. And then I think most of you, the youngster or millennials, they know this gig economies more than me, all right? So practically, what is gig economy? For those maybe you may not heard these terms before, there is actually like those who are doing freelancer, those who are doing contract workers, those who are maybe like you just temporarily work. So of course, when we heard about this gig economy, a lot of times we have this negative impressions like, oh, let's say you go and you are the Grab drivers, all right, or you are actually like all this like you send food and all this thing, okay, or even you do all this temporarily job. So we consider all this gig economy. But of course, now there are more and more increasing number. So 26%, this data is actually 2016, 2017 data. Okay, I can't get the recent one, but I think after this pandemic, this must not, this data must be differently. So 26% of the working population, between those who are working in Malaysia, are actually involved in gig economy. And according to EPF, okay, there is increased by 31%. Every year is actually increased by 31%. So there will be actually more and more people will actually join in this. And then more than 50%, all right, actually 65% of the those who are involved in gig economies are those millennials, which means I guess those who, like your bonds from like year 2000s to 2010, all this. So this is gig economy. So you thought about what are actually the benefits of gig economies, like I work for myself, okay, I get freedoms, okay, and all those things. But of course, we have some downside of gig economy. So today I won't go through a very details, but just to talk about what are actually the top 5 online labor work in the world, so you can have an idea. So if you, so of course the first one is actually software development and technology. So again, this one, if you have this technology, even though you don't want to work with the company, you want to work as a freelancer. Creative and multimedia, all right, clerical as well as a data entry, but I think this one very soon will be actually this is for now, no more. Writing and translations. See if you can do writing, right? You can do translations, sales as well as marketing support as well, right? So give you some examples, right? Maybe you're actually curious, how does all these people is actually work? So recently only I heard from one of my friends, she's actually working on this drawing, multimedia, okay, drawing. So she actually have her jobs from all over the world, not only in Malaysia. So most of her job is actually from other countries as well. In fact, by 2025, actually, 60% of the European country, their labor force is actually involved in this gig economy. Therefore, a lot of the company, what they are doing is they are also outsource their jobs, right? So how do they outsource? They just like anyone. But of course, there is very much competitive as well, because you need to compete. If you're actually one of this, you need to compete with the labor from worldwide. I mean, everyone, the workers from worldwide. So this is also, what are the top skills identified by the freelancer? If you want to become a freelancer, of course, these are some of the skills as well. Interpersonal skill, time management, because no one is going to give you timeline. You don't have boss to look at you and say, oh, this is a timeline. Okay, by today, by tomorrow, you have to send me this one. No one. You are the ones who need to manage on your own. All right. Communications and business correspondence. So you need to have do all this correspondence on your own. You need to solve problems, problem solving, networking. That is very important. How do you get all these jobs? And also negotiation skills, right? Negotiation skills. So these are some of the skills identified by the freelancer that if you wish to become a freelancer. All right. So this is, of course, regarding to gig economy. And again, what I plan to do today is just enlighten. Is that considered as an enlightenment? I sort of know. So to give an idea, all right, enlighten. How would be the future jobs markets look like? Like I say, in 5 years' time, 1/3 of the jobs is not yet exist. All right, in maybe like for those who are primary school, so maybe like 15, 20 years' time, 2/3 of the jobs is actually not accessed in the market. So how we are going to prepare, how you are going to prepare yourself for the future job markets. So you need to be prepared for all the skills and what you need. So seems like I didn't answer your questions. Huh? What is your question? What should you choose for today? So I leave this one to Miss Ang. So she will need to answer how you should actually choose. All right. So I just discussed a little bit on, you can answer yourself, because I'm on like, what are the skills you have? What are the jobs that are possible for future? And then I leave the rest. How do you make your decisions to Miss Ang? All right. Thank you very much, Miss Ang.
Okay, thank you. Can you all hear? Is it
Yes, I
clear,
can.
voice?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Miss Ngor, for your sharing. Yeah, it's a very informative one. So because to tell you all, at least now we have an idea. Okay, what are the current jobs in demand? What are the jobs in rise? Okay, and also in future. Yeah, what kind of skills basically needed and so on. Yeah. So after listening to this, I believe that you'll feel, wow, well, all kinds of jobs also sounds good. Well, should I go for building and constructions? I'll get higher pay. Or should I go for digital kinds of things? Or should I go for the jobs like in the gig economy as the raising now the trend? Right? So maybe you would think this is good. That one also sounds good. But how are we going to choose? Yeah. So certain people actually maybe they know what exactly they want. Okay, since they were born, they know what exactly they want. But for certain people, maybe they might be taking longer time to find out the right directions. So I believe that some of us today, we also wanted to know how should we choose, for our degree programs, okay? Because why? Because what you choose now, it may actually affect your future job. Yep. So maybe you will think, oh, you will be considering lah, okay, is it easy for me to get a job if I enroll in this program? Can I get a job within 6 months and so on? So you will be thinking of that. So when deciding on the program, finding out what jobs you can apply for when you graduate, it will actually helps you to make the decisions. So of course, in practical, maybe you have to consider whether you can afford for the course fees or not. Of course, you don't want to drop out from the course, right? Because of you are running out of fund, and also you have to pay for the accommodation, textbooks, or maybe other expenditure too. But on average, we spend at least 1/3, okay, of our lives at work actually. So therefore, it is actually very important for us to think, to reflect on the types of career, the job, or the field of the work that we really wanted, wanted to spend the time in, right? So how should we choose? What are the factors that we should take into considerations when we choose the degree program or any of the job? Yep. So now below are some of the factors that you can take into considerations. Yep. So when you choose your new educations or career path. Okay. So the first one, right? Your interest. First of all, you have to ask yourself, what is your interest? I give you 5 seconds. Let's think about it. What is your interest? What do you like? All right. So sometimes 5 seconds already. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. So sometimes people take any jobs without thinking about if they like the job or not. Okay. But finding a job that you are interesting, that are interesting to you, will make the job more enjoyable. It will be more motivated for you to keep doing that job. So interest, it is something that that you like to do, right? Things that will make you feel happy, things that you could spend a long time of doing that, and so on. So I think all of us here, we have our own interests, I guess so, right? So you can choose a program or career based on your interest. Why? Very simple, because it makes you feel happy. Yeah, because you will be happier doing a job that match your interests. Of course, but of course lah, if you go for something that you're interested, maybe you may not be able to get good income. Yeah, so that's why maybe we have to find a balance on that. So what you can do is ask yourself, what are your interests? Are you interested in calculation? Or you're interested in meeting with people? Or you are interested in analyzing informations? Outdoor activities, writing, gaming, reading, music, cooking, drawing, driving. Who knows? You love driving. Am I right? So that's why. Yeah. So, for example, if you like drawing, painting, this is what you're interested, then you may think of, maybe I should go for the jobs, like, for example, graphic design, for example, maybe architecture, or any jobs related to this. Okay. Yeah. That related to the creative field. Yep. So you may have to think wider way lah. In your interest, when we talk about drawing, not only you can be the drawing teacher and so on lah. Not only that, right? You can think in a wider way. Yeah, think of the jobs that involve creative thinking. Yeah. So when you consider the degree program, also my suggestions. This is my suggestions. I think you can start from your interests. Yeah, because this can help you to choose a career path that is fun for you. Okay. Just like me lah, huh? When I was a child, I have a dream to become a teacher that time. So even my friends here, my colleagues here, they may not know about this. But last time I have this kind of dream. So what usually I will do, I will force my sister, my younger sister, to attend my class. My class is at home lah, basically. Meaning I will ask my sister, okay, come take the chair and then sit in front of me. Then I will start teaching. I will start teaching her. Right. And then I will try to write something. Yeah, that time our generation, we are using the chalk, so I will be writing on the board and so on. Yeah, do something that you're interested. Don't be pressured. Do something that you have no interest. Okay, right? Don't force yourself to become an accountant if you hate numbers. Yeah, certain people, they hate numbers very much. It's not that Chinese, not all the Chinese love numbers. Some of the Chinese, they hate numbers. Yeah. So don't force yourself if that is the case. Don't just force yourself, or because of people say accounting very good, good future, can make money, and so on. Just don't just because of this, then do something that you hate, that you dislike, right? So, or maybe because of, very high pay and so on. Try to do something that you're interested. Yeah, because this path will make you more happy. Okay, will make you happier lah. All right, that is first point. Number 2, interest. So the first point that I shared just now. Yeah. Another factors that you take into considerations, as you can see, is personality. Yeah, personality. So do you guys know well about yourself? Do you know about your personality? Yeah. So sometimes we may not know who am I, okay, right? Maybe we are not really sure about ourselves. Certain people, they know themselves quite well. Yeah, but some of us, maybe we have very little understanding about ourselves. Yeah, but I think it's quite important actually to know about ourselves. Why? Because you just imagine if you're someone who is very shy, very shy type of people. But when you have, but if let's say you choose a job that require you to contact people, to interact with many people, meeting with a lot of people, wow, I think it is definitely not easy. Of course, maybe many people say that, yeah, because I want to try to take some challenge, I want to break through myself, okay, right? But I'm sure it is not easy because that is not you, okay? So I would suggest you another factors that you can look into is your own personality before you choose any programs, or maybe in the future, what kind of jobs. So maybe if you're still not very sure, there are a lot of personality out there that you can try it out, okay, to find out more about yourself. So for example, if you're someone who is extrovert, wow, very talkative, love to meet people, love to socialize with people, interact with people, then find out this kind of jobs. For example, you can become the salesperson, become marketers, okay, yeah, public relations, or maybe you can become the event planner and so on. Okay, because when you become event planners, you have to coordinate the guest list lah, you have to book the event locations lah, you have to order food lah, music lah, videos lah, all this you are interacting with people and so on. So it requires a lot of communication skills and so on. So if you love this, maybe public relation program, it suits you, okay? But if let's say you are someone who is very introvert, very shy, very quiet, silent, and so on, usually you prefer to be alone. You prefer to work behind the scene. You prefer to work in a smaller group. So maybe if that is the case, you have to work, you have to find out this kind of job. Yeah, for example, maybe you can become researcher, maybe you can become the editor, or just now we say that translator. Yeah, you can do something like that, okay, or something related to which is more suitable, that work behind the scene, okay. But if let's say if you are someone who is very very clear about your directions, or very self-disciplined, very result oriented and so on, maybe you can go for, I think sales is also a good choice. Yeah, because sales not only outgoing, yeah, but also you have to be clear to achieve your sales goal, right? Or maybe accountant also can be, yeah, because accountant very detailed type of people usually have to check each and every single thing, making sure it is correct. This could be another thing. Okay, so maybe a business admin programs, accounting programs also, it will be suitable. Or for example, if you're someone who are very kind, who are very patient, caring, and so on, maybe you can consider teacher. Just now, according to what Miss Ngor shared, right? Yeah, teachers and also lecturers also very high in demand. Am I right? So you may consider on this because you can have more interactions with people, because you're very kind, you love to interact with people, right? And you're very patient. Or maybe counseling, yeah. So or even so this kind of programs you can go into. But if let's say you are very open type of people, love to try new things, very broad-minded, then go for something like go for something which is suitable, designer, artist, and so on. Okay, right. So above all, yeah, the one whatever that I shared just now is just an example lah. Job matches with the personality. Yeah, but the main point here, what am I trying to say is, personality is also one of the important factors in order for you to decide what programs or what kind of job that you're going to choose, right? So when reflecting on your personality, think about what motivates you to complete the task, and what jobs provide the conditions where your personality can cope well and also develop well. Okay, but as I say, if you are not sure about your personality, maybe you can come up with some personalities. You can try out some personality tests. All right, so I'm done with my second point, and now number 3, skills. Just now Ms. Ngor also, she has shared about the top 10 skills of 2025. Yeah, so I think it's a very useful one, because this is the next factor that I'm going to share with you, your skill. Skills are the things that you have learned, or that you have helped you to do other things, or it is your ability to do something, to carry out a task. It's your expertise. So skills is something that you can develop in the school, in the university, or even within your family, right? Or maybe because you attend the maybe the clubs, the teams, right? Or maybe through experience and so on. Okay, all these kind of things you can learn. You can you can actually get some experience, learn from them the skills. For example, you attended yeah, the debating club before. So from there, you learn how to persuade people. All right, you learn about persuasion skills, communication skills. If you have been in the football team, oh, then you develop the teamwork, leadership skills, and so on. So for information skills, actually can be divided into two types for information. Yep, what are the skills? We call it as hard skill and also soft skills. Okay, yep. So hard skills, basically hard skills are often gained through educations or specific training. It is something that teachable and measurables. Yep. So in order which help people to carry out the tasks. Okay. So for example, if you attending accounting class, so you will learn the skills about accounting, like let's say prepare the financial report, the financial statements, yeah, about mathematics skills and so on. So if let's say you attend the IT class, okay, or IT programs, then you will know, okay, about the technical support, that kind of skills, maintenance, like for example, you know the coding, okay, programming, all these kind of skills, all right. Or for example, if you learn about foreign languages, then you will know how to speak konnichiwa, annyeonghaseyo, all these kind of things. Yep. So these are the hard skills, all right. But we have the other kind of skills, which is soft skills. Yeah, just now we talk about a lot about communication skills, personal skills. That one is more to our soft skills. So soft skills are more often seen as the personality traits that you spend your whole life to develop. Okay, you develop it or you pick up it during your life, or you from your work experience, or from maybe from school and so on. Yeah, sometimes it is quite difficult to quantify. Yeah, so let me give you some example. When we talk about soft skill, for example, communication skills. Yeah, for example, is how well you can share the message to your friends or to your colleagues or to your boss. Okay, yeah, because it's important. Sometimes we share a lot of things, but whether the person they understood what you're trying to share or not, or they are still blur after you have sharing. So this one communication skill, when we talk about communication, is not only about speaking, but it's also about listening. Right? Yeah, when you can listen well, then only you can communicate well with people. All right. Or for example, teamwork. So when you're working team, when you're working with other peoples, you have to learn how to negotiate with peoples and so on. Yeah. So all these kind of skills we consider as soft skill. Yep. Leadership skills, time management skills, all this. So try to choose a path that utilize the skills that you already have. Some of you have already learned this, maybe in your secondary school and so on. You have already gained this, or maybe at home you have learned this, or maybe through online you learned this. Okay, you can go for this kind of path, or maybe now you do not have, but what you can do, you try to learn it. So when you enroll in any of the degree program, also it helps you to develop your new skills. Okay, that this will help you in your new directions. All right. So, so if you really want to learn the skills in a particular area, try to research. Yeah, what kind of skills needed for the particular jobs, for example. So if you are skilled in numbers, maybe go for finance kind of related job. If you're good in software IT, then go for that kind of job. All right. Yeah. So matching your future career to the skill sets that you have, I think it will make your life easier lah. All right. So that's the third point. And finally, I'm going to end very soon. Right. The last one. Values. All right. Values. What is this? Okay. Finally, ask yourself, yeah, what are your values? Meaning, what is most important in your life? All right. Give you 5 seconds. Try to think now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What is important to you? Is it money? Is it family? Reputation? Friends? Yeah. Health? So what is the most important thing to you? So your value are the things that you believe are important in the way you live and you work, right? So this might determine your priorities. Okay. So when the things that you do and the way you behave, it match your values, life is usually good. Okay, life, you will be very happy, you will feel very satisfied. But if it is not aligned with your personal value, then you will feel very, why it is not so right? Wow, I'm doing it, but I feel so unhappy and so on. All right. So if it match with your values, what you're doing now, when it match with what it is most important to you, what you value, it is important, then you are happy. Otherwise, sometimes you may not be happy. Okay, right? So that's why the last questions that I want to ask you, or last factors that I want to share with you is, please always ask yourself, what are your values? What is it so important to you? All right. If you value family, it is important. So to you, spending more time to your family is very important. But if, let's say, you are required, you think that family is important, but you are required to work 12 hours per day. Wow, of course you will feel very stressed. All right. So if you value your family and personal time is important, then you may have to choose careers that allows you to have more work-life balance. Okay. Right. So that is what you should do. Otherwise, if you work for 12 hours, 14 hours, wow, definitely you'll feel very stressed, because to you, family is too important. If you are unable to spend time with your family, you cannot take it. You have to spend time. So then look for the job that makes you have the work-life balance. For example, if you're someone who hate competition, you dislike competition, you value love and peace, very important. You love world peace. For example, if you're this kind of people, then look for the job. If you love these kind of things, then go for something which is more peaceful. You don't go for the jobs that is very high competitive, very challenge, very high competitions kind of job. Some of the job, like for example sales, wow, they will be trying to hit the target, they will be competing one another. So this kind of jobs, you'll feel very stressed, you won't be happy doing that. So if money very important, financially stable is important to you, then go for that kind of path that will give you the opportunities to earn your target salary. So take the time to understand the real priorities in life. Okay, this will be able to determine the best direction for you. So how to identify your values? So you have to think, what are the things will make you happier? What are the things that makes you feel proud, feel satisfied? This might help you to find out your life values. Okay, so take your personal values and belief into account when consider, no matter is your career path or even the degree programs that you're going to do. All right, because this will satisfy you the most. All right, so these are the 4 factors that I've shared with you: interest, number 2, personality, number 3, skills, and the last one, what is so important to you? What are the, okay, am I right? Values, the values. All right. So before I end, just a quick one. Okay, my conclusion. So as above, there are the 4 factors that I've shared with you. But after sharing this with you, maybe I'm not sure whether you get some ideas or not, or maybe you're still very unsure what you want and so on. Yeah, so you're still unable to make up your mind to decide. All right, but just want to share with you, okay, at the end, some of us, is not that we do not know what we want. It's not that we are not sure about our personality, our skills, or what is important in our life. It's just that we are worried we make the wrong decision. Okay, we make the bad decision and so on. So decisions that will make us feel regretful is because of that. So before we end, just to share with you, whatever decisions that you make definitely have pro and cons, definitely have advantages or disadvantages. Okay, in any choice that we make, definitely we are going to have some opportunity. For example, today you attend the talk, I'm sure you're getting something, but at the same time, you have to give up some time. Maybe at this moment, 4 o'clock to 5, supposedly you go and earn money. All right, you go and meet your friends and so on. But you have been spending this time, you decide to come this talk to learn, to listen. All right, I'm sure you will be getting something, but at the same time, you will be giving up something. It is very normal, and you will be getting some benefits. There is some pro and cons, definitely. So, but whenever you have decided to make the decision, you have make any decisions, right? So please, yeah, move on. All right. So even though, so please be responsible to the decisions that you have done. So please be willing to to own the decisions you make, be accountable for them, and take responsibility and also accept them. Look forward always. As long as the decisions do not harm, do not offend anyone or the society or the world, then go for it. Maybe the decisions that you may not turn out as what you expected. It's okay. Life is good. All right. Just forgive yourself, accept your regret, think positively, take it positively, yeah, and move on. Because I'm sure throughout the process, you learn, you experience, and you grow. All right. Do remember there is always give in every decisions that you make. Okay. So if you have decided, go for it. Yeah, but of course lah, before you decide, think rationally lah. Okay, but please always ask your inner voice, what do you want? This is your path, this is your life, this is your future. We can listen a lot, we can listen from our friends, parents, whoever, but remember, this is your life. You are going to deal with this for another 20, 30, or even more years, right? So consider this. Yeah, please think carefully. Find a balance, all right? So find a balance lah for all this. Yeah, so remember, your life is your life is yours, and so once you have decided, go for it. Okay, even yeah, all right. So please always ask yourself again and again, what do we want? All right. So I think that's all for my sharing today. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Go and Ms. Ang. So it is indeed a very informative and a knowledgeable sharing lah. All right, so let me share my screen first. Okay, so now that we have come to the Q&A session, all right, so guys, feel free to ask. So if let's say you have any question, you can post in the chat box there, as you can see, so that we can pick up your question. Anyone has a question? So let me see. We have Chia, Hanyi, Angelina, Don. Guys, you have any question? Feel free to ask. You guys are a bit shy, huh? Okay, never mind. So if you guys don't have a question, so basically Miss Ang and Miss Mo and Miss Patricia as well lah. So I have received a question basically through email. I have two questions basically, and I hope that you guys are able to answer to this question lah, right? So maybe the first question, either one of you lah. Okay, so the question is, do UTA programs incorporate the diverse skills needed by job market? So probably Ms. Ngo can answer to this question.
Okay, so I hope you all can hear me clearly. Okay, so through UTA programs, I try my best to answer. If you all, I mean, Ms. Ang and Ms. Liang have anything to add up, then you all just add up what I actually saying, right? So of course, from what we have actually presented, so we know that now is actually very important. It's actually all these programs is actually skill based. Right, so practically it is also like the directions of the UTA programs, all the programs as well. So instead of like we need to talk about skill based, okay, but from what Ms. Ang already shared with us just now also, the skills we do have like hard skills and also soft skills as well. Right, of course, the one I shared with you, a lot of like this problem solving skills, like leadership skills, or even like active learning skills, for example, or data analysis skills, all this, we are actually talking about like some of them, they are hard skill and some of them, they are actually soft skills. So if you really want to go for a professions, like for example, that's require some of your hard skill. For example, you want to be a medical doctor, or for example, you want to be an accountant or auditor, or for example, you want to be a programmer. So you are require some of the hard skill, right? Of course, then you must go for all this program. That UTA program, of course, they'll meet the requirements, meet the hard skill part. And therefore, soft skills, let's say, for example, like teamwork, or leadership or active learning. So this one, we already incorporate to some of all the UTA programs. We are actually moving to this direction. So that's when the students is studying in UTA. So we have a lot of all this teamwork as well, right? The students need to come up with their final year projects on like the problem solving skills and all this thing. So we already trying the directions is actually we are moving to a lot of to ready the students all the skills-based learning. Okay, but of course, soft skills, from what Ms. Ang actually said, is not likely from your classroom, all right? It's not likely from programs, okay? You will learn all these soft skills. So if you join some of the clubs and activities, in fact, UTA, we do have a lot of clubs and activities, all these will also improve your soft skills as well, okay? So whatever is it, even your real life or anything, they will also have a chances to actually improve soft skills as well. So this is what I can actually like discuss with you all. Then if anyone else would like to have added anything, all right.
So anyone else has a question? Guys, don't be shy. Oh, no request. Oh, no question. Okay, never mind. So maybe you guys can hold on because I have another question also I received from email. So maybe Miss Ang can help me to answer. Is it okay?
I
Right,
try.
so, yeah, so this student is asking, what if what I want does not match the job demand? So how would you advise that, Miss Ang?
If it doesn't match with their demand, yeah, so to me, okay, yes, job demand, it is like this, but there are a lot of options. Actually, there are a lot more. Okay, we have a very great pools of the job in the market. Yeah, these are all the job demand. But if your personality, if your interest, if your skill, it doesn't match, then no point you keep trying your best to go for it. Just go for something, because there are a lot of opportunity out there. Do you get what I mean? So that's why what you can do is, as I say just now, based on your interest, okay, yeah, based on your personality, yeah, and so on, try to look for something that suits you. Okay, right? I think it is more important, even though now it is not the trend and so on, but I believe that there are a lot more options out there. So what you can do, you can actually find out, okay, based on your interest, yeah, and as I said just now. Okay, all right. Go, do you have anything that you want to add on?
No, nothing. Thank you very much.
Pat?
Okay,
No,
Miss Patricia, anything to add up? No?
Okay, maybe I just want to just a piece of advice to students. I always tell students, chase your dream, chase your dream. Okay, so do not be afraid, like Miss Ang just now said, one of the reason you already know what you want and everything, but you're afraid to make the wrong decision. Okay, so do not be afraid to make the wrong decision. Okay, successful people are people who make a lot of mistakes. So including, you have may heard of this story of Jack Ma. So he also made a lot of mistakes before he becomes successful. Okay, so even though, okay, you may not be, eventually you may not achieve your dream, but then the learning process, you will experience a purposeful learning process, even though you may also have made the wrong decision. So you are young, okay, so take all the risks, chase for your dream. Okay, so this is just a piece of advice from me. Okay.
So thank you, Miss Pat, Miss Ang, and Miss Ngor. All right, guys, now before we close the window, please take note that if you can see on your screen, we have UTA Cyber Open Day happening now. We start 20th March, last Saturday, and this one will be going on until 4th of April at 4 to 5 p.m. Right? So what we have during our Cyber Open Day, we have series of webinars, live chats, and also video chats with our lecturers. We have a career guidance workshop. So if you guys are not sure on what programs to study, you can take this career guidance test, right? And last but not least, we also have a virtual campus tour. All right. So how to join our webinar? Oh, sorry, this Cyber Open Day. So simply take your phone. You can scan this QR code. All right. So, and at the same time, if you can't find your QR code scanner, it's okay. You can just open up your browser. You go to our website, our Open Day website. You can see down there, openday.uta.edu.my. All right, it's very simple as that. Okay, so okay. Right. So for further inquiries, okay, so feel free to contact us via these channels and we'll be happy to assist you. All right. So we are reachable. We are available on Facebook, WeChat, WhatsApp, phone calls, emails, you name it. So any question you just throw to us, we'll be happy to assist you. All right. And if you go to our website, study.utah.edu.my, the English version, the other one is the same website /CN for Chinese version. So you can have a conversation with us. We have a live chat function from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day, Monday to Sunday, except for public holidays. All right. So you can have interaction with us. Okay. So we are running out of time. So sorry for that. And yeah, so with that, thank you very much. Thank you again on your participation today. And we wish you all the best. You stay healthy, right? You jaga diri, jaga SOP. Hashtag kita jaga kita. All right. We'll see you soon in Utah, hopefully. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.